What do you have planned for your future, for the next month, for the next year, 5 years, 10 years? Where do you envision yourself being in the short term and the long term? What is it you're chasing after? What is it that gets you out of bed every single morning, full of energy, full of fire, ready to attack the world and claim what is yours? I'm Brandon Eastman with Be Better Industries, and today we're going to bring you through an entire goal-setting workshop to help you plan out your life in 4 separate key areas. This is for those people who have goals currently. This is for those people who don't have goals and they want goals because they know how important they are. And this is also for those people who might have accomplished goals recently in their life and they need a refresher. They need to go through this again in order to figure out what's next on their list. Let's get to it. If you haven't already seen my last video on goal setting, we talk about what actually happens in your brain when you set a goal. Why are they so important? What happens when you physically write down a goal versus just keeping it in your mind? So if you haven't seen that video, I'm going to put the link in the description. I do highly recommend watching that one first. However, you don't need to, because I'm going to give you a quick refresher. The outcome of this workshop is we're going to set goals in 4 key areas. Personal development, the amount of money you want to make, which is your financial area of life. Your toys and experiences, the things that you want to enjoy in life, the cars that you want, the house that you might want, the trips that you want to take. How you want to contribute is the 4th and final key area that we're going to focus on today. Now, at the end of this workshop, you're going to have 4 SMART goals, for 1 SMART goal for each area of your life. Now, a SMART goal is this. A SMART goal is a goal that is specific, measurable, meaning you know when you've attained the goal, attainable, meaning you're not going to go out there and say that you want to be a Michael Jordan, but you're 5'1". It might be difficult to do that. Or it's like saying that you want to make $1 billion next year. It's probably unlikely unless you're already at the door to achieving that. Realistic. Is your goal realistic? Is it probable? Will you be able to do it? Even if you don't think a goal is realistic, ask a few of your friends who do accomplish things in their life if they believe your goal is realistic. Get yourself around people who are at a higher level than you because their beliefs about what can be done might be very different than your beliefs. Time-bound, meaning each of the goals we set today are going to have a deadline. There's some people out there who say, I've never put a deadline on my goals. And some people who say that are very successful. But for the purpose of this, we're going to set a deadline. Because if you remember back in college or school or anything that you might have done, when there's a deadline on something, you're a lot more motivated to take action towards that object or goal or achievement. Okay? And we're going to have one of these. This right here is a written out SMART goal for each of those 4 areas of life. A SMART goal looks like, I will easily, you want to tell your brain it's easy because you'll be looking at these goals all the time. I will easily weigh 180 pounds by June of 2020. I will easily, your goal, by this specific date. We're going to have 4 of these by the end of today. And you're going to take 20 to 30 minutes right now to completely map out your next year, maybe short term, 6 months, 5 years even, 10 years. You can go as far out as you want because the beautiful thing about goals, guys, is they can change. All right, you might wake up one morning and you might look at your journal at all the goals that you wrote down today and you say to yourself, you know, I don't really want that car anymore. I think I want this instead. You'll know which goals are most important to you because they'll be the ones that change less frequently, especially your long-term goals that I like to call your visionary goals. The things that you're going after, sometimes you'll have a visionary goal that you won't even achieve in your lifetime. And we'll talk a little bit about that today. So this is what you need to do. You need to grab your notebook, journal, pieces of paper at the very least because this is going to be a writing intensive workshop. This is about you. This is not about me talking at you. All I'm going to be doing today is giving you some ideas of what you can write down for each of these areas. But this is all on you. So if you're driving right now, keep them in your mind, and then when you get home later, write them in your journal. Write them somewhere that you can reference every single day. Go to Barnes & Noble. Buy a $15 journal. They have tons of nice ones with nice artwork on the front, whatever makes you feel good. And bring it home and write down these goals as we go throughout this workshop because we're going to get started. All right? Because the first area that we're going to set goals in is for the most important one of all, which is your personal development. All right, so this is how we're going to do this. You're not going to write down a ton of different SMART goals in each area. You're simply going to have one after all is said and done for each of the 4 areas. Right now, all I want you to do is, as I give you some ideas of what to write down, I want you to just jot down ideas in your journal for each of these areas. And I'll give you some examples as we go. You're not writing out long sentences here. You're just writing down 1 or 2 words. And the key is this. It'll take about 3, maybe 5 minutes to get through each of these sections. I want you to keep your pen moving, okay? So you really shouldn't be watching me. You should be watching your journal as you write down your ideas. Keep your pen moving. Even if an idea seems crazy, write it down anyway, because we'll look back at them and we'll reference them after each section, okay? So let's talk about personal development. This is the most important one because this is who you want to become. This is the kind of person you want to be. These are the kind of traits that you embody, such as, are you an honest person? Are you a caring person? Are you generous? Are you giving to other people? What is it about you that makes you unique? That's your personal development. This is how you plan to improve yourself as a human being. Because this is the cool thing about this. Even if you lost your job, even if the government or some company came and they took all your stuff today, they took your house, your apartment, your car, your dogs, your cats, even if they took everything from you, your personal development is something that they cannot take from you. This is the knowledge and information that you always hold on to. These are your skills that no one can take from you because you hold them inside. Okay, I hope that makes sense. I think if you're watching this video, you have a good idea of what personal development means, at least in your life. But let me give you some ideas to write down, and this is when your pen should hit the paper and start writing things down. Go ahead, do it. Grab your journal, grab your pen, start writing down some ideas because we're going to get to it. So let me ask you, what skills do you want to improve in this year, in 5 years, in 10 years? What new skills do you want to learn? Do you want to pick up a new language? Do you want to become more proficient with communication? Maybe you want to get a job as, I don't know, maybe a state trooper or a police officer, or maybe an entrepreneur. Let's say you want to open your own business. What skills do you need to grow in or adopt completely in order to do what it is you want to do or to become who it is you want to become? Which leads us to the second, which is, who are you right now? If you went in a dictionary and you looked up your name and you found yourself and you read the blurb next to the picture, what would it say about you? John is a caring individual who loves his family, his 2 dogs. He does this profession and runs this business, and he invests in these things, and these are his values, these are what he cares about. Who are you? How do you define yourself? And make this positive. Only positive things here during this goal setting workshop, because the negative are just disempowering beliefs that have probably been holding you back until this point. But today is the day where you just get to let go of those disempowering beliefs, because we're going to set new ones. What kind of fears do you want to conquer? I've helped people who've had a fear of heights, who've had fears of spiders. Some people who they were so afraid of a spider, they wouldn't even go into a room that they didn't even know if there was a spider in there, but just in case there was a spider in there, they didn't want to go in. Like, if you have a fear that holds you back from something, a fear of approaching people or starting conversations with strangers, it's time to conquer that fear, because you don't want to be afraid of something if it's going to help progress you in your life. Fear, you can call it false evidence appearing real. Fear is a defense mechanism in order to help us survive. But a lot of the times, our fears are fake. They don't exist. They simply exist up here in our mind. So what fears do you want to conquer this year, 5 years, 10 years, etc.? What kind of hobbies do you want to have? Do you want to start to learn a new instrument? Do you want to become more of an artist? Do you want to do something more active? Do you want to start going to the gym more so? Maybe you want to start going to the gym 3 times a week. That's what I do. I go to the gym 3 times a week. I stay lean. I stay looking the way that I want to look. But most importantly, I stay feeling the way that I want to feel, because I picked up that hobby about 4 or 5 years ago. So what hobbies do you want to pick up? This one, health. How do you want to feel? You have to tell yourself how you want to feel each day. You don't just wake up feeling great. Sometimes you do. If you ate really good food the day before, or you had a really good night where you fed your mind some great information, and while you were sleeping, your brain digested all that information. But How do you want to feel on a daily basis? Do you want to feel energetic? Do you want to feel compassionate? Do you want to feel caring? Do you want to feel attentive so you can listen to other people? How do you want to feel? And it's also important to write down, how do you want to look? Do you want to be lean? Do you want to be muscular, like a bodybuilder, like power lifter, bodybuilder, anything? How do you want to look? Define that exactly. Define how much you want to weigh. Define how you want to feel. Define exactly how it is you want to look. Because where focus goes, energy flows. The more you focus on what you want, things just start appearing in your life without you even recognizing it. It's insane. It's a magical power that we talked about in the last goal setting video. And this one, they're all important, but this was a game changer for me. Who do you want to be in your circle of friends? What type of people do you want to spend your time around? I really want you to think about this, and I want to ask you a question. I want you to look at the group of friends that you're around in your life on a daily basis. It might be people that you work with, although that might be tough to get away from unless you find a different job that doesn't have people like that. But who are the people you spend the most time around? Think about them in your mind right now. See their faces. See who I'm talking about. Who are the people that you spend the most time around? Do they use drugs? Are they overweight or obese? Do they only talk about negative things? Do they gossip about everyone else around them? Do they always have a problem in their life that just never seems to go away? Or do they charge your battery? Do you leave their presence feeling better than when you started hanging out with them? Do your friends help you to get to where you want to go? And I'm not saying leech off your friends. I'm saying you help them with your vibes and they'll help you with theirs. Your vibe attracts your tribe. So it's very important to look at the people you spend the most time around every single day and ask yourself, is it self-serving to spend time around these people? I remember I had one friend in particular who is a childhood friend of mine. We went to school together, we graduated together, all these things. We were friends all throughout school. And he's a good guy. I really do enjoy this individual, and I hope that they get their act together in the future. But this guy lives at home, okay, which isn't always a bad thing. But the environment in which he lives isn't a great environment, okay? It's smoky. He smokes weed every single day, all right? And listen, I don't have anything against you if you do that. All I'm saying is he doesn't have a job, or he has a new job every week, I should say. He does little odds and ends in order just to scrape up enough money. Yet he talks about how he hates money. He talks about how I don't need that. I don't ever need to focus on that. Guys, this is the reality. I've never met a broke person who is extremely happy because all they were thinking about was money. And because it's all they thought about, they thought that they hated it, but it's really because they don't have any. Okay, you can have a lot of money and not be happy, by the way. But I've never met a very, very happy broke person. It just hasn't happened. And every time I left this friend's presence, I just felt drained. I felt like the energy was sucked out of me. So if you set any goal in your personal development that could be a game changer for you, it's who do you want to be? Tell me about your health, because if you don't have health, you don't have anything. And who are the friends that you spend the most time around? Because as you progress in life, you might have one or two friends that stick around because they're growing too. But most of the time, you're going to find new friends. For every chapter in your life, you should be finding new friends that complement the person that you have now become. Because as you progress in life, you're changing, you're growing, you're improving. So find the type of friends that charge your battery rather than drain it. All right? So that's personal development. Now you have a list of ideas, okay? What I want you to do is this, and we're going to do this after each section. I want you to go down that list of ideas, and all I want you to do is circle the idea that is most important to you to achieve. Circle the one, whatever it is you wrote down, whether it was to weigh a certain amount, find new friends, maybe who you want to be, the traits that you want to have, your character traits. I want you to circle the one that's most important to you. So if it was your health, I want you to circle it. I'm just going to star it. You can do whatever you want, but I'm going to star mine. And now what we're going to do is we're going to transform this goal into a SMART goal. So let's say your SMART goal was, I will easily attract new friends by June of 2020. So the way you would write that is exactly as I showed it on the last slide. I will easily blank. That's where your goal goes. And I'll write that right here for you. By this date, I will easily attract 2 new friends by June of 2020. Have a month, have a year. Okay, that deadline's going to push you to get it done. It's not going to push your conscious self. It's going to push your subconscious mind to get that done, because your subconscious mind is the warrior behind all the action. So think of your conscious mind as the general in the army. Think of your subconscious mind as the army that goes to battle. Right now, you're using your conscious mind to set these goals and plan where you want to go. And after you do that and remind yourself of these goals constantly, which is something we'll talk about too, then your subconscious mind goes to work to bring them to fruition. Okay, I don't want to get too off track, but make sure you star the one that's most important right now, or circle it, and then write the SMART goal underneath it. I will easily weigh 180 pounds by this date. I will easily be more self-confident by this date. I will pick up playing guitar. I will easily start playing guitar by March of 2020. Some of these you'll achieve faster. Some of these you might say, I will become a master of the art of persuasion by June of 2025. So you're giving yourself 5 years to master the art of persuasion. It might take you longer. Maybe you're a fast learner. Maybe you'll put a lot of time into it. But these can be short-term or long-term. Okay? So that's personal development. So next up, we're going to be talking about our financial situation. We're going to talk about money. All right, that friend I was talking about wouldn't like this part. He'd say, no, throw it away. We don't need to talk about it. But you know, everyone every single day uses money. We use money to pay the bills. We use money to go buy food. We use money to put gas in our tanks, or to buy a ticket on the bus, or a ticket to the subway. Every single day we're using money. But the funny thing about that is, what's the one thing we're not taught about in school? We're not taught about money. Yet we use it every single day. We're told, go to college, and by the way, pay them a lot of money to go there, but hey, we're still not going to teach you about money. Have you ever wondered why we're not taught about money? That's probably a separate video, so let's just talk about money. Let's talk about what you want to accomplish in your life when it comes to your finances. Where do you want to be financially in the next year, 5 years, 10 years? We're going to do the same thing. You're going to write down some ideas as I give you some ideas for what you want to accomplish financially. All right, so let's start at the top. How much income do you want to earn? How much do you want to earn monthly? How much do you want to earn this year? How much do you want to be earning annually in 5 years? How much do you want to earn in 10 years? Even if you're completely off, even if these are kind of fabricated numbers, I want you to put some ideas down on paper. Because again, the beautiful thing about goals is they can change all the time. So how much do you want to earn? What career field do you want to find yourself in this year? Are you looking for a new place to work? Are you currently working somewhere to earn money so that you can start your own business? Maybe right now, and this is something I'd recommend, maybe you're working for a sales company that's 100% commission. What I would recommend is make bank, make a lot of money while you're there, take the money that you're earning and invest it into a business, or invest it in some other kind of investment such as real estate or the market such as stocks and bonds, or invest back into your company's 401k or a Roth IRA. I'm not giving you financial advice. I'm definitely not the guy to go deep into giving you financial advice right now. However, what's in your mind right now? Like, what do you want to do? Do you want to stay with your company till the end of time? Some of you might, but today's world's a little bit different. What kind of business would you want to start? What are some strengths that you can transform into a business in order to serve people? Your money should be fuel to get that business or those investments off the ground, because you cannot earn your way to financial freedom. It's just a fact. You will not earn your way to freedom or wealth. Your budget. How do you manage your money? Me, personally, I don't have a budget. What I do is I have a certain amount of my money automatically get redirected when I get paid with my company that I'm with right now and my business. A certain percentage of that money goes to a separate account that I use for my investments, such as real estate and the market itself. Okay? So I don't have a budget, yet I pay myself first. Well, I pay the government first, You have to pay your taxes. But I don't pay my bills next. I don't pay my Time Warner cable next. I don't buy food next. It automatically pays myself. And that's what I'd recommend for you too. But if you're a budget person, make a budget. My wife is an extraordinary helper when it comes to my money. She's essentially a built-in budget for me. She tells me if I'm about to make an impulsive move that I probably shouldn't be making. So what will you use for a budget? And the money that you're making, what do you want to invest that money in? Now, the next two things here are financial independence and retirement. I will say it again. You will not earn your way to financial freedom. Even that 401k that you have that you believe is going to be there when you retire, you're putting money away towards this account that you have no idea where your money's even being invested towards to hopefully one day retire and take all that money out, and you're praying for a big return on your money. That's not the reality in the world that we live in today. A lot of people are about to retire or are trying to retire, yet they look at their 401k or their IRA or whatever money market or mutual fund they're putting their money into, and they're realizing that their money didn't make the kind of money that they thought it would. They're realizing that they have to continue working. Even though they thought they were going to retire, they found it's a rude awakening, but they found that they're not going to be able to. They have to continue working because they didn't invest their money wisely. I'm not saying to go to a financial advisor. If you go to an advisor to ask them what you should do with your money, I will recommend this. I will recommend you go see a fiduciary. A fiduciary is someone who's required by law to give you advice that is only in your best interest. When you go to a financial advisor, they're going to try to sell you everything that's on their menu of products that they want you to buy. Now, the funny thing about financial advisors is a lot of them are broke. A lot of them don't even invest. A lot of them are just trying to get you to buy what makes them the most money. Now, it doesn't mean they're bad people. I'm sure 99% of them are great people. They just don't know this stuff either. They were never taught these things. They want to help you, but they're only helping you with a limited menu. If you go to a butcher, what are they going to try to sell you? They're going to try to sell you meats. If you go to a vegetable market, are they going to try to sell you meats? No, they're going to try to sell you what they have, which is vegetables. However, if you go to a nutritionist or a dietitian, they're going to say, hey, Joe, you should have this amount of meats in your diet, but you should also have these amount of vegetables. And then you can go to the butcher and you can go to the vegetable market and get the proper amount of each, versus going directly to the source who's going to just give you their menu of objects and products and say, this is what you want to do. So what will you invest in? Will it be real estate? Will it be the market? Will it be businesses? That's for you to decide. But I'll tell you this, there's a reason why all these major sports stars get big contracts for millions of dollars, and then they move on after the sports world and they're broke. They go broke in a few years because you cannot earn your way to financial freedom. You must invest your money starting now. Even if you're 20, that's a beautiful situation. Start now. If you're 18, start now. If you're 50, it'll probably be a different plan, but start now. It's never too late. You don't want to work after you're 65 or 60, guys. And speaking of retirement, I want you to write down, when do you want to retire? Do you want to retire when society retires, which is 65 or 67 or 70, which is what it's getting to nowadays? It's insane. We're living until we're like 95 years old. The average lifespan is over 87 now. I believe for women it's 87. For guys it's 82 or 83. So you're going to need enough money to help you survive for 20 to 30 years or more after you retire. Who knows what it will be once we grow up. So when do you want to retire? I'll tell you, I plan to retire when I'm 35 years old. I'm 25 right now. When I'm 35, I'll be retired. That doesn't mean that my hair is going to turn gray or what hair I have. It doesn't mean that my hair is going to turn gray. It means that I have enough money to support the lifestyle that I want that's coming to me automatically each month through what's called passive income. It means I'm no longer trading my time for money. It means that my money has gone to work for me. That's retirement. Once I have $10,000 a month coming to me in passive income, that means I'm retired. Then I can do whatever I want with my time. So you might be asking, well, if that's retirement, then what's financial independence? To me, financial independence is where all of my expenses are paid with passive income, such as my rent or my mortgage, the food that I eat, all my bills that I have to pay for. That's about $3,000 a month for me. Once I have $3,000 a month coming into me passively without me having to work for it, at least continuously work for it, then I'll be financially independent. My goal for that is 30 years old. At 35, I'll be completely retired. Because you don't need to be 65 to retire, guys. You can be 40. You can be 35. There's people retiring now who are in their late 20s. There's the kid on YouTube who made $23 million last year, and he makes videos reviewing toys. If he can do that, then you can retire by age 30, 40, 50. You don't have to retire when society retires. And I know I went on a long tangent with that, but I hope that there was some information in there that will help you to think differently. Think for you. Don't think because other people put thoughts in your mind. Okay, so hopefully at this point, you've got a long list of ideas for your finances and the type of business you want to own or for your career goals. So now I want you to do the same exact thing we did last time. Find the one that is the most important for you right now to achieve in your life. It might be one that's a year out. It might be 5 years out. For me, personally, it's this. I need to be earning a certain amount of money each month. That way, the 25 to 30% that automatically goes to a separate account will fill up quicker. So for me, it's my income. But what is it for you? Maybe your next goal is to start your business. So put a star next to the most important one for you right now in your life, and then we're going to do the same exact thing. You're going to create a SMART goal with this goal. So pick your favorite one, and then write the SMART goal. I will easily earn $100,000 by December of 2020, or I will easily open my new business. Be specific with it, by the way. So I will easily open my blank business, whatever kind of business you want to open, by February of 2022. Whatever it is for you, make it a SMART goal now. This is your second SMART goal. We're making progress. And by the way, if you've been sitting until this point, what I want you to do right now is stand up. Get up, move your body, move your limbs, shake your arms, get the blood flowing, make a radical change in your physiology. Do something to wake yourself up, get a drink of water, go to the bathroom, do whatever you need to do. But get your blood moving, get up, and get your body going. Because the state that you're in when you take in information like this determines how much you actually retain and, most importantly, use. So that's your financial and business goals. Let's move into category number 3. In this category are the experiences that you want to enjoy, the things that you want to have, the places you want to go see, all of the fun things. By the way, it doesn't mean you can't have fun making money. It doesn't mean you can't have fun improving yourself as an individual. But these are all the fun things that you want to go and do to enjoy your life while we're living in this world, while we have this one life of ours, this one body. So what kind of car do you want to own? Write down some ideas. Do you want a Rolls Royce eventually? Or are you modest? Do you want a smart car? Do you want a Honda Civic, a Honda Accord? Do you want a luxury vehicle? Write down what it is you want for a vehicle. What type of home do you want to live in? Do you want to live in a nice home by the ocean, a home by the mountains? Maybe you want to live in one of those econo homes, the things that run on solar energy, and you have an outhouse and you've got all those things. Maybe you got a bathroom in them now. I'm sure they have fancy ones too. But where do you want to live? What type of home and where? Do you want to live where you're living now just because you've always lived there? Or do you want to move somewhere else because it's nicer, it's more tropical? Maybe you like the snow. Maybe you like to ski, snowboard, move to somewhere that's got a lot of snow. Where is that for you? Write that down. That's a great idea. Where do you want to travel? Do you have places that you want to go see? I like going overseas. We've been to Italy. We've been to the Bahamas. We've been to Cancun. We've been to Mexico. We've been to a lot of fun places. But I remember I asked my dad, I said, Dad, if I paid for a trip for us to go somewhere, where would you want to go? And he's like, I don't want to leave the country. He's like, I haven't even seen our beautiful country yet. Why do I want to go see other people's countries? And I thought that was really interesting, and I thought it was funny. But this is different for everyone. He might want to go to Texas, while other people might want to go to Amsterdam or Italy or France or Paris. That is France, but you get the point. Where do you want to travel? Where do you want to go see? Do you want to go to Egypt and race the camels around the pyramids? That'd be fun, right? I hear those things can go really fast too. So where do you want to go? What's a passion project that you might have? Maybe you are creating a masterpiece, a beautiful piece of art that's really important to you, which is kind of like a hobby or an experience for you. Maybe you are reconstructing an old muscle car or building a car from scratch, or maybe you want to build your own computer. Or for you musicians out there, maybe you want to create your own music studio in your future house. It probably won't fit in the Econo house though, so I wouldn't try that. But what do you want to do that you're passionate about? I worked with one woman who said that she wanted to have a privately stocked zoo on her property, which I thought that'd be a lot of work, but she really wanted to do it. So what's a passion project for you? What types of toys do you want to have? Do you want to have ATVs, four-wheelers, snowmobiles? Do you want to ski, snowboard? Do you want to have really nice guitars? I'm a guitar guy. I've got a Gibson Les Paul. I've got a Martin acoustic. I've got a Taylor acoustic. I like guitars. I'm a musician. I love music. But that's me. What types of things do you want to enjoy? Okay, even though you might not be materialistic, you might like certain things. You might like certain clothes, or to have certain brands, or do certain things that other people might not want to do. So just because you're not materialistic doesn't mean that these things don't apply to you. Okay, they'll just be different from other people. And last but not least, what are some other miscellaneous fun experiences that you want to go do? Do you want to go see some Broadway shows? Do you want to do something extravagant, like go throw the pitch at the World Series? Like, what is it you want to do? Do you want to one day carry the Olympic torch? Someone else does it. And if someone else does it, that means that it's possible for you too. So what experiences and what fun do you want to enjoy while you're on this earth? You know the deal. You've got a list of ideas now. If you haven't finished writing down your ideas, because I know this one went a little quicker, then go ahead, pause the video, take some time, write down your ideas, get a full list of ideas, just let them flow right off the top of your pen. And then I want you to take your pen, go to your paper, and I want you to star or circle the one that is most important to you, the one that you were absolutely committed to achieving this year, in 5 years, 10 years, whatever it is for you. I want you to circle it or put a star. So for me, I would say the next thing would probably be travel. Take another trip. I think we're going to go back to Cancun. It was a really good time. There's this place in Cancun called, no, I'm sorry, it's not Cancun, it's Punta Cana. There's this place called the Excellence Resort in Punta Cana. It'll be our second time going. Highly recommend it. It's inexpensive. It's going to be like $3,500 for 2 people for 5 nights. And it is a freaking blast. Check it out. That's going to be mine. So take your most important one and make it into a SMART goal. I will easily visit Excellence at Punta Cana by July of 2020. I will easily get myself a new Martin acoustic guitar by this date. I will easily own my new Honda Civic or my red Jeep Cherokee by this date. Whatever it is for you, I will easily goal by this date. This is your third SMART goal. We're getting there. We're making progress. Let's move on to the final section, which you might find the most fulfillment from. Because the final section is, how do you want to give back in this world? How do you want to contribute? How do you want to help other people? Now, contribution, and you can start writing ideas down. To contribute, you can donate your time. You can donate your money, whatever it is for you. Maybe you're a very busy individual, so you just want to donate some money to a GoFundMe to help someone out. Or maybe you give to your church, or maybe you give to an organization. I will say this, if you do give your money, make sure you know exactly where that money is going. If you're giving it to a church, just because the pastor's got a great smile, doesn't mean you shouldn't check in and verify where those funds are going. Very, very important. I have several friends who were taken advantage from because they were giving their money to something and it was actually going to something else, okay? So always know where your money's going. Or you can volunteer the most precious thing of all, the most precious resource, which is your time. Because you can always make more money. And as you go throughout life, you'll probably make more and more money. But the one thing that is always dwindling is your time. So first, I appreciate you spending your time on this video to help improve yourself. I truly do. But where could you volunteer your time to make the most difference? You could give it to a soup kitchen. You could give it to a Thanksgiving or a Christmas drive, like a food drive in your community. You could donate your time to picking up trash in the local park or on the highways. You could join the Rotary Club in your area. You got to put some money in to do that, but they're helping to solve big problems. All right, they're helping to help a lot of people jointly as a group. So what could you do to donate or volunteer? Or maybe to contribute, you could simply add value to people. This video, I do this because I want to build my business so I can reach more people and impact more lives, but I'm doing this to add value to the people who are watching this video today. So what's a skill of yours that you could start using immediately in order to help the most people? What could you do in order to add value to people's lives? And sometimes that could be as simple as a random act of kindness. Contribution could be buying a coffee for the person behind you at Dunkin' Donuts, or buying someone's meal at a restaurant, someone at the couple tables over. Or a random act of kindness could be just walking by someone on the street and looking at them for the human being that they are and just saying, hello, how are you today? It could simply be a smile. People don't look at each other and smile anymore when they walk by them. Imagine looking at someone else, and as you walk by them, you smiled at them and just nodded your head. That's huge. And half of them might ignore you. Another quarter might think you're crazy. But you know what? I guarantee that you will be making an impact on that person's life. Or if you're a frequent hotel visitor like I am, because I travel for the work I do, when you're in the elevator with someone, rather than just hit the button and immediately hit the closed door button 10 times to get the elevator doors to close before someone else comes on, let someone else on and just look at them and say, hey, how did your day go today? What's the most exciting thing that you did today? Some people will think that's strange, but you know what? It's going to break their pattern and it's going to make them feel good, because the reality is that person probably doesn't have many people in their life who will ask them that question. You can make people feel good by sacrificing just a little bit of your time to make an impact in the life of somebody else. Or you could take contribution to an entirely new level. You could invent something. The number one contributors in today's world are entrepreneurs like Elon Musk and Bill Gates. Bill Gates is eliminating malaria on an entire continent. Unbelievable. Obviously, he's got a lot of resources to be able to do that. But Elon Musk, we've got people saying things like, the traffic in LA is so bad. Like, how are we going to fix the traffic situation? Do we need to make new roads? Do we need to repave the roads? Do we need to make more lanes? Elon Musk sat down, or maybe he was standing, I don't know, I wasn't there, and he said, we can make a tunnel underneath the ground that we can bring people down into and shoot them along these tunnels to help them get to where they need to go. That's a freaking contribution. And obviously he's going to profit from that, but he's going to be helping a lot of people in the process, because the more value that you add to other people, generally the more money you make, because the marketplace wants to see you add value. So invent something. Elon Musk is just like all of us. He just thinks on a different level. Some might say he's an alien or a simulation. I don't know. Whatever you want him to be. There's a lot of people who invent things that aren't tunnel systems that help a lot of people. Okay? And lastly, you could help to solve a big problem. And you can do this individually, or you could join a club that's doing this as a group. But think about this, the problem of famine, the problem of starvation. There is enough food in today's world to feed every single human being. The problem is there's no way to distribute that food to everyone who needs it. What if we, as a team, could help to distribute all that food to billions and billions of people? What if everyone had food? What kind of world would we live in? We'd have a lot more people creating great things that furthered our race, that got us to Mars quicker, that was able to make us an interplanetary race, or if that's the right word. The word I'm looking for is to make it so humans are on multiple planets, not just one. Okay? What could you solve? What problem could you solve? What could you invent? There's a lot of organizations out there who can help you with this. There's an application on your phone called Be My Eyes, which is an app where if blind people need help finding something that they dropped or help reading a sign, They go on their app, on their smartphone, and they click the button that says, I need help. It's right in the application. And on your phone, as someone else who has it downloaded as a helper, it pings your phone and lets you know that someone needs help reading something. It will actually bring you into a video conference with the person, and you can say, oh, you dropped your pen? Just take 2 steps forward and pick it up. Bend down now, pick up the pen. You're good to go. The blind person, you helped them, extraordinarily helped them, and it only took 5 seconds of your time. Realistically, probably a minute of your time. There's a lot of things that you could do where you could give your time or give your money, but right now you have a list of ideas. I want you to do the same thing we did the last 3 times, and I want you to put a star or circle the most important idea to you right now, the one that you are most committed to achieving in your life. For myself, I would say add value. I want to add more value by creating more frequent content to help you. That way, I can help you get to where you want to be so that the whole cycle restarts. I want to be able to help you so that you can tell your friends to come watch these videos so that it can help them as well. So hit the like button so this video gets to more people. It would help I believe it's the YouTube algorithm. It actually helps it get recommended to more people. And subscribe so you see more videos that come out so you can give those videos to your friends and help them at the same time. Okay, that's my goal. But what's yours? Circle or star the most important one for you and turn it into a SMART goal. I will easily blank your goal by this date. I will easily add more value through the use of creating content by this date. I will easily make the effort to smile at the people I pass by on the streets starting today. That can be something you start now. A lot of these things are passive. You could do them every single day. So make a SMART goal with your most important goal. At this point, you now have one SMART goal for the 4 key areas of your life: personal development, financial abundance, the toys that you want to have, the experiences you want to enjoy, and your contribution. You've got 4 goals now that you are absolutely committed to achieving. So this is what I would recommend. That journal with your 4 one-year goals, I want you to look at that every night before you go to bed, and I want you to look at it every morning when you wake up. And you know what? I challenge you to take it a step further. Every single week, at least once a week, I want you to rewrite those 4 one-year goals. And you know what? Or 4 goals in general. They don't have to be for a year. I want you to rewrite them. And if there's any of those goals that you rewrite that just don't resonate with you anymore, revisit this video or simply set a new goal. Your goals will constantly change. But this is the most important piece. Don't wait until you achieve a goal in order to feel happy. Because what if instead you could feel happy now? What if instead you could happily achieve your goals? Because when you achieve a goal, you're happy temporarily. You got the new car, you got the house, you feel good. If it's a really nice house, it might last for a month. But then you start to feel the same way you did before. So feel good now. Revisit my video on 3 ways to feel the way you want to feel whenever you want to. But you can feel good while you're achieving these goals. But remind yourself consciously of the goals, because soon we're going to talk about how to create a plan to achieve each of these goals. But now you have taken the steps to get started on your new journey. Now, if your goals have anything to do with your emotions or your finances or relationships or your physical body, then I want to give you a free copy of my book, a free digital copy. It's called Be Extraordinary, Your Guide to Self-Mastery. It's a quick 100-page read that goes over the 5 key areas of life: emotions, finances, spirituality, relationships, and your physical body. And it's a quick chapter, and it gives you a challenge at the end of each chapter. Flip to the one that you need the most, take the challenge, and I can guarantee you can automatically cross a few goals off that list, most likely by following the challenges in this book. Go to the link in the description below, click the link to get a free digital copy. Again, like this video so it gets shown to more people, and if you like this video, share it with your friends, but subscribe to see more content that will come your way. But until next time, I challenge you to be better.